All right. Good evening. Listen, when I go home after work, my wife gives me more applause. ये क्या है? I'm joking actually. She doesn't need any applause. She says, खाना kitchen में जाके ले लो. I'm joking, but I didn't ask you to applaud for me. I wanted to applaud for the speakers, the people who have come and presented such a wonderful evening, kick-started it, the band, the choir, the children, the two kids who welcomed me, the kids who sang the school anthem, wonderful people on the dais, the principals, the teachers, the parents. So a big round of applause for everybody, not for me. Not for me! मैं तो बिगड़ा हुआ बच्चा हूँ. All right. So, by the way, just in case you don't know, my name is Boman Irani. खाली clarify कर रहा हूँ. आप लोग हंस रहे हैं क्या बात है? So, why am I telling you this? In life, I'd like to tell the children, never take anything for granted. Never take anything for granted. You should not assume. You should not assume that people know you. That is an arrogant assumption. And I'll tell you why I came to this conclusion. I was on a flight, and it was a very early morning flight to Raipur. It's always early morning only. And one gentleman who was talking loudly on the phone, जोरों से बात कर रहा था. You know the type. You know the type, right? To disturb the peace. And he spotted me, and he said, he started getting excited. I said, very good. मेरा favorite actor. मेरा दुनिया का सबसे favorite actor. He started shouting, and I was getting very embarrassed. And then words were not coming out of his mouth. He got breathless. Favorite actor. I am getting so embarrassed, my friends. The whole plane is smiling away. And then he comes to me, झुक के मेरे कान में बोलता है, लेकिन इतने जोरों से बोलता है कि the whole plane can hear. भाई साहब, आपका नाम क्या है? उसके बाद I made up my mind. Never assume that people should know you. Stay humble. That's the first lesson I learned in life. Correct, Adi? Correct? All right. So a little about me. A little about me to make you understand why am I telling you all these stories. Achha, I have been asked to speak for kitna 2.5 घंटा? अभी 4 to 5 hours? अच्छा 45 minutes. अच्छा ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. सब लोग डर गए. I'll speak for only 2 hours. चलो ठीक है. A little about me, just so we understand what are the learnings that I have taken away from my experience. What are the learnings, what are the teachings? In every single thing in my life, I have picked up something. When I was a child, I was born before, or rather, sorry, I beg your pardon, I was born after my father passed away. So I was in my mother's womb. My mother had 3 little daughters, so I had 3 sisters, and I came into this world not knowing what a man is. And because of that, I was very, very protected. I had female protection, which is a good thing to have, because the power of the female protection makes you stronger, but it also makes you softer. Because I was protected from the world because I had lost my father. I had a speech defect. And many of our children have some little idhar-udhar. And I used to speak like guess who? I used to speak like virus. I used the speech that I used to do as a child and put it into virus's mouth. It was my greatest weakness as a child, I thought. And I decided to use my weakness as a strength. That's a learning in itself, is it not? See, I'm not asking for your applause, but every time I feel that is my message reached you, if you give me a small little thing, I'll understand कि आपको समझ में आ रहा मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. It's not for my ego. Ego बीवी पे है मेरे घर पे to put me in place. Anyway, I went for my school interview as a little child, and Father Monmouth was the principal, and he said, Mrs. Irani, we'll get your child into school, no problem. My only thing is I have to do the test. So he showed me a photograph. He showed me a photograph of a horse. अभी horse S आता है उसमें, correct? HORSE, और मैं S नहीं बोल सकता था, virus S नहीं बोल सकता, horse ऐसे बोलेगा, मैं छोटा, I used to squeak, I used to stutter, I used to stammer, और मैं एकदम ऊंचे सुर में बात करता, ऐसे बात करता था. तो मैं बोला अगर मैं बोलूंगा तो फादर समझेगा कि मुझे अक्ल नहीं है, तो मैंने जुबान ही नहीं खोली मेरी. मैंने कोई बात नहीं. फादर से नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम. ही टुक आउट अनदर फोटोग्राफ. ही शोड मी अ माउस. माउस में भी ऐसे है. तो बोला अब क्या करूं मैं? तो मम्मी मुझे बोल रही बोल 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 बोल. मैं तो बोलने वाला ही नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि उसमें ऐसे मैं फंस जाऊंगा. वो समझेगी मेरे को खामी है. मैं तो माउस करके ऐसे बात करता था. मैं लोग हंसते थे तो मुझे बुरा लगता था कि मुझ में कुछ कमी है. But never let your children feel that there is something wrong with them. ये तो बहुत, this is a very small problem. It's a very small problem, but the child takes it in a very big way. And I did not want to disappoint my mother, but I did. I did not get admission in St. Mary's School. 10 days later, and this is what you were saying, Ravindraji, you were explaining so nicely to me. 10 days later, Father Molinet calls up my mother and says, Mrs. Irani, we are educationists. We have made a big mistake. She said, what happened? Which child doesn't know what a horse is? Which child doesn't know what a mouse is? He's just a nervous child. He's just a shy child. He's afraid to talk. The day he starts talking, he won't keep quiet for 2 hours speech. Remember that. फंसा के रख दिया ना तुम लोगों. And that was it gave me a lot of confidence. लेकिन स्कूल में I had 2-3 small problems. एक तो मैं बहुत shy था. मैं दिखता नहीं shy, लेकिन I am very shy. Believe it or not. I had dyslexia. And worse still, I still have dyscalculia. मतलब numbers मुझे समझ में नहीं आता. कोई भी number I cannot remember for even 3 seconds. You ask me my flight timing or my flight number तो जाने दो. Flight का timing पूछो, 5 मिनट के बाद मैं भूल जाऊंगा. Room number, होटल का room number मुझे आप बोलेंगे go to this room. I'll forget the room number because I have dyscalculia. I have a confusion of numbers. Even today, it is a learning deficiency. We all have some kind of deficiency. Everybody cannot be a genius. And I tell you, I am telling you this story. आज भी अगर आप बोलेंगे कि मेरा रूम नंबर है, मैं गलत रूम में ही चले जाता हूँ. सच्ची. Sometimes I go on purpose, but लेकिन इधर मैं बात नहीं कर सकता. So, what am I trying to tell you this for? No child is perfect in the way you think they should be perfect. They are perfect. They are the creations of God and they are the greatest gift. It is just that your sense of perfection is different from somebody else's sense of perfection. For you to say my child should get 90, 102, 100 in maths, it's okay. I never got more than 14 on 100 in maths. वो भी मैं भी भूल गया. 14 मिलता था कि 7 में वो भी याद नहीं मुझे. But that doesn't make me imperfect. I'll tell you what is perfection. The kids in yellow who were singing, you saw how they were singing? There was one child who was doing, I was going to say, बच्चा mic में गा, बच्चा mic में गा. फिर मैं सोचा, let her be. You know why? Because she's happy. Make your children happy. Don't make them perfect. That is perfection. By singing in the mic does not make them any better. They practice, but they are happy. I'll tell you a personal experience of mine. I was very, very nervous as a child, right? One day I was just like that child standing on stage with the choir. Same. Only I was wearing white shirt, white pant, इतना बड़ा बो, लाल कलर का, पेपर का बनाया था, सस्ता स्कूल था, इतना बड़ा बो, लिपस्टिक रूज, और लिपस्टिक और रूज, और मैं पलट के हमेशा आप लोगों को देखता हूं कि आपका रिएक्शन क्या है, मेरे लिए नहीं, बच्चों के लिए। मेरी माँ आई थी, and she was sitting somewhere there, in connection to the stage. Are you listening, na, बच्चा लोग? You can hear me, na? Oh, very good, darling. So my mother is sitting over there, and my mother is smiling. मैं तो गाना भी नहीं गाया था तब तक, but she's smiling. You know why? Because she saw her nervous child who never spoke. He was smiling. That's all. That's all. And